every man and woman that goes to war anywhere would learn to claim those promises and put God first, I can guarantee you on the word of the living God, they can come back without a scratch.
You told me something that I filed away in my memory because I thought it was so unique. And you had mentioned that you and your wife had noticed that when breast ailments were involved, that oftentimes unforgiveness was involved. And you went on to be more specific, and you said, well, a lot of times we've noticed that if it's in the left breast, it would be unforgiveness, I believe you said, between like the mother and daughter. Close
family
relationship.
member, yeah.
But if it's in the right breast, it would probably be unforgiveness related elsewhere. Our daughter called us, and she said, well, Mom, the granddaughter, it's her daughter, is 10 years old, and she's a developing young gal, and that in her right breast that she had discovered there was a lump about the size of an egg. The end of the breast had turned inward, it was leaking fluid, and now just to have the right arm beside the chest hurt the daughter, and so she finally had to tell her mother. And so she shows her mother, and her mother's like shocked, and she says, well, how long has this been going on? She goes, well, 6 months. I said, well, I'd been talking to Thurman, and it's in the breast, and now if it's a 10-year-old, let me go with the assumption that a 10-year-old is fairly innocent, and so I think it's really not her sin. It would be the sin of the mother, which is you. And because it's in the right breast, it would be not unforgiveness between you and the daughter, but outward somewhere else. And you told me that this happened 6 months ago. So if I put all these together, I said, if you think back in your life 6 months ago, was there an event of unforgiveness, and was it not between you and the daughter, but somewhere outside of the family? And lo and behold, she goes, yes. And she goes, I know exactly what it is. I got unforgiveness in my heart toward the senior pastor. And it was a big blow up, and I've carried that in my heart for 6 months. That evening or so, she called me back, and I was quite stunned with what she said. She said, well, I called up that pastor, and I repented to him, and I poured out my heart, and I repented, and I took care of the unforgiveness, and said, I just prayed blessings for him over the phone. I think it's found in number 6, the Aaronic blessing, and she prayed that blessing upon him and blessed him. Well, then that evening before they went to bed, she laid hands on her daughter and prayed. In the middle of the night, I had heard a song in the middle of the night, and I believe that the song, it comes from the 70s and 80s. You may know it, I don't know. But it was a guy named Christopher Cross, I believe was the artist, but it's about sailing. But the words had been changed. And the words in the song were changed to Jesus. So it said, Jesus, take me away. Jesus, take me to where I always knew it could be, where I always wanted it to be. Jesus really can do miracles. Just you wait and see. So the next morning, I called up the daughter. It was probably about noon when she got out of class, maybe. So I called up the daughter, and I said, wow, I got this song from Jesus last night. She goes, oh, well, let me tell you what I got. She said, after I prayed for my daughter, she said, I saw a vision, and I saw great bells, and then I heard them break out and start ringing, and then out of these bells was running a river that was running down of either maybe honey, maybe oil, and then I heard the voice of the Lord say, make way for healing, make way for healing. Within 24 hours, the lump was totally gone. And over the next couple of days, as the tissues healed, all the outer part of the breast that had turned inward had all come outward. It was normal, and there was no more fluid leaking.